Hi there, I'm Lisa. Welcome into your practice. Today we're going to be working with a restorative practice. This will be about a half an hour, just a nice time to refresh. This restorative practice will be focusing on creating a sense of support. We might have a cat assistant with us today too. So it would be great if you had a chair in your space to work with, a blanket. This could also be a large towel, a large thick towel. Maybe if you have a bolster, that would be great, but you could also use a really firm cushion, couch cushion, or again, we can just fold up some thick towels as well. Gather all your props. If you need to hit pause and do that, go for it. And when you're ready to, we'll get started. So we're gonna start just seated in any position that feels comfortable to you. This could be here on a bolster, a blanket, if it feels comfortable to you to sit on the ground, or our chair is in the space, so you might choose to sit on the chair as well. Wherever it is, settling into that place. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, or you're welcome to leave your eyes open. You should always do what makes you feel the most comfortable and the most relaxed. As we settle into this place, feel your body resting in whatever shape you're in, wherever you are right now. Feel the support that is holding you up here, the ground, the props, the chair. Breath by breath, allowing your body to soften into this support. Breath by breath, feeling perhaps a little more relaxation, maybe feeling the muscles soften just a bit. We'll be here for several more cycles of breath. Let your attention gently shift to the breath itself and whatever sensations you notice about the breathing process. Feeling the abdomen move, perhaps feeling the breath in the back of your throat or wherever you notice it. We're here for 2 more cycles of breath. As you're ready to, if your eyes were closed, let your eyes open. We're going to move so that we can lean onto the chair. So have the chair seat facing you. I'm going to go ahead and stay up onto my bolster. And I'm going to gather a few more props. Oh, excuse me, can I have that? Okay, I'll take the block. Just a few more props here. I'm going to go ahead and slide this chair in. My legs seem to fit underneath the chair, so I'm going to go ahead and stay there. But you're welcome to let your legs come outside the chair. Knees could be bent. Legs could be straight or maybe even supported by other props. Since Archie is holding down that blanket, I'm going to fold this blanket into a nice chunky square so that it's lifted just a little bit higher. And maybe even using my block too, we'll see. So we're going to lean into this chair, essentially a forward fold using the chair. Let your hands rest in any place that feels comfortable to you. Encourage your forehead to be supported by your props here. Again, whether that's your block or your blankets, whatever it is. And again, we're not looking for any deep sensation of stretch, but rather looking for the sensation of support. As we settle into this shape, you can just notice if this feels comfortable or if you feel like you need to make any adjustments. I'm just going to adjust my legs a little bit here. And then once you get to that place that feels comfortable for you, go ahead and settle in. Use your breath working from the inside out to encourage your body to relax. If the shape is creating any undue stress or strain, or really any deep sensation of stretch, we do want to move away from that for this restorative practice. Breath by breath, feeling as though your body might be softening just a little bit more, releasing and relaxing. We're here for 2 more cycles of breath. And as you're ready to, lifting back up, taking a moment, taking a breath as you shift out of that shape. I'm going to move my chair out just a little bit here, but we're going to stay with the chair, stay with that idea of leaning in toward the chair. We'll create malasana, yogic squat. Again, not a deep sensation of stretch here, but rather the feeling of support. So in this case, I'm going to bring my feet outside of the chair, let my knees open up. I'm seated on top of the bolster, and that bolster is supporting my legs here. I can let my feet lean into the chair to be supported there as well. And I'm going to bring the props just a little bit closer to me. We were forward folding before. Here we're going to be just a little bit more upright. Bringing your arms, bringing your forehead down onto your props. The knees are open, just only the slightest sensation of stretch if you're feeling any at all. Again, support is the way to go. So we'll lean in. I'm just going to rearrange my block so it's a little higher up. I've arranged my arms in a way, for me, that feels supportive. It's almost like a self-supporting situation here. My forehead is pressing into the block, but then my hands are leaning the block toward my forehead. So this actually does feel quite supportive, and it's not really a whole lot of work. We want to find the least amount of work possible to create this shape. A reminder that the props can be used anywhere. If you would like to use props under your legs in some way to support, maybe this external rotation is just a little too much for your hips or just feeling like too much right now, you could always use blocks underneath your knees to help support that so that that sensation is not quite so deep. Focusing on sensing the support the support beneath you, the support in front of you, the support that is all around you, really. We'll be here for 2 more cycles of breath. And then as you're ready to begin to gently lift up, shift back, take a breath. We'll be sliding the chair toward the end of our mat now, still using the chair for what's called constructive rest. So constructive rest, similar to legs up the wall, but different because our knees will be bent at a 90-degree angle. You want this to be comfortable. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave my blanket in here just to soften that edge of the chair. I'll slide my bolster out. My cat still has commandeered the blanket here. It would be nice if you have another blanket to place that in just a very small roll underneath your neck. In fact, I might actually try this. When we use a blanket underneath our neck in restorative yoga, we're really just creating a little bit of lift. We're really just trying to fill the space between the ground and your neck. He's not going to like it if I tuck that in. So coming on down, you can roll to the side and then lift your legs up onto the seat of the chair. And you'll probably want to rest the chair edge just right here, just below the round of your calf. Sometimes when we have it higher up on the calf, it's just a little bit too much pressure. Yep, so I'm going to slide my chair out just a little more. There it is. Let your arms rest in a way that feels comfortable. I feel like I want to rest my hands over my abdomen right now. That's giving me a sense of comfort, the sense of support that we're looking for in this practice. Our constructive rest pose, the legs resting comfortably on the seat of the chair. And if you need to make any adjustments, please do that. Take the time. Perhaps we've filled the space between the ground and the neck to create that sense of support, even in the arch of the neck. As we rest, being held, being supported in these shapes, you're always welcome to close the eyes or leave the eyes open. And really, as we move from shape to shape, you should make that choice just based on how you feel right then. Sensing the ground rising up to hold your body up, and inviting your body to lean into this very solid support. We're here for just a few more cycles of breath. As you're ready, beginning to slide the feet off the chair, bringing the feet back down to the mat. You might even like to, if it's possible in your space, let your knees touch together just for a moment. We can roll to one side or the other and slowly lifting yourself back up. I'm going to shift the chair out of the space. I'm done with it for now. And we'll bring your bolster or stack of blankets in. We'll be working with a forward-facing twist. Your bolster or thick blanket or towel will come into the space. And you may like to have another blanket or towel here to create a little bit more lift. I think I'm going to accordion fold this one. As we come into this forward-facing twist, we're going to slide the hip pretty close up to the bolster. Sit nice and tall, and then rotate the torso toward the bolster. So we are getting the sense of rotation. Now with our blanket here, if it feels good, you could slide it all the way to the end. If you need to create some more space for the front body, you might slide it a little further out so that there's this space for the front body, maybe even turning the blanket sideways to create more space when space is needed. We'll come forward. The head, we're not twisting the head away or deeper into the twist, but rather your head is going to face the same way that your torso is facing. Let your arms come down just beside the bolster or the blanket stack, and we'll settle in. Your legs should be in any shape that feels comfortable. I feel like I'd like a little bit of lift, so I'm going to use my block here, just between the knees, to create some separation for the legs. We created a gentle spine twist, gentle sensation of twist. And in the same way that we invited the back body to settle down into the supportive surface, we'll do that with the front body here too. We can draw our attention back to our breath. If the mind begins to wander off to other places, gently guiding it back here to this moment, this place. As we all know, sleep is a very vital, very important thing for all living beings. But this kind of restoration of our nervous system is important too. Different from sleep. This restorative yoga, allowing us to consciously experience rest and relaxation. We'll take 2 more cycles of breath here. Slowly lifting yourself back up. We'll change to the other side. You can move your props as you like or shift yourself around, whatever feels good for you. Sliding your hip close to your bolster, sitting up tall, deep breath in, breathe out and rotate toward the bolster. Reminder that we're not going to twist the neck deeper into the twist so that my head will be facing away from you here. Resting here in this restorative forward-facing twist, a sense of folding in on ourselves. It's a inspiration to become a little more interoceptive, so noticing the things within our own body, noticing the sensations and the breath, body feeling completely supported here, and you're shifting or changing the shape or the use of the props to create that sense of support. We'll be here for 2 more cycles of breath. As you're ready to, lifting yourself back up. Our next pose we're working with is called Mountain Brook, and it creates a sort of a gentle undulation of the body, as if your body was the, the bed, the bottom of a mountain brook with gentle curves. I'm going to use the bigger bolster to support my legs. I've got an accordion folded blanket here, so it's going to be a little bit narrower. It's not a big half fold, but an accordion fold. And I'm going to use that to support my torso here. And it would be great to have another roll in the neck. Again, my cat has commandeered the blanket, so I'm going to go ahead and let him have it, but it would be great for you to have just a small roll in the neck that will help support your neck. I think most of the pillows, the couch pillows that I have in this place, are a little bit too thick. I see one over here that might work, so I'm going to grab that. So placing your props, as you see here, probably need to be just a little closer together. Legs are onto the bolster and supported here, elevated. As we come down, this is going to be right on your rib cage, so elevating your rib cage. We want to have the shoulders coming down behind that. I feel that I need to move myself just a little bit more here. And then I'm gonna give this pillow a try. We'll see how that works. Again, just enough in the neck to help support rather than lifting up. We'll let the arms come out above the support that's holding up your torso here. And I've got the fireplace here, so I'm just going to let my hands rest right here on my rib cage, but really you'd love to have your arms completely supported and just resting down. Legs are elevated slightly by the bolster. The rib cage itself is elevated slightly, and then just enough support to hold up your neck. As always, as we practice restorative yoga, you want to take the time to arrange your props in a way that they are working for you. So I'm just going to shift my bolster just a little bit. Sometimes even the smallest adjustments can make a big difference in how you feel. Our rib cage is elevated slightly here, but not lifting us up all the way into a big deep back bend, but this gentle support underneath the rib cage, helping to open up the front body. Experiencing the idea of support in a slightly different shape here as the body rises and falls. The bolster that I'm using today is just a little bit wider. It would be lovely if the feet could be all the way down onto the ground with the knees lifting up. But we work with the props that we have. Noticing the breath as it moves in and out, as we're here in this mountain brook shape, with the front body open, different from some of the other shapes that we've been experiencing today. We're here for 2 more cycles of breath. As you're ready to, beginning to bend the knees and place the feet down onto your bolster or onto the ground. We can roll to our side to lift ourselves back up. Taking a moment here. We're shifting into the final pose of our practice, and that's a supported Shavasana. Now, if you were enjoying the role supporting your knees, then stay there. We can take the support out from behind our torso though, so that that comes flatter down onto the ground. And because this bolster is pretty wide, I'm going to shift that out of the way. And I'm going to use this underneath my knees. Coming into supported Shavasana. Again, for the sake of Archie here, I'm going to use my pillow. It's a little bit thicker than what you would want to have, but I'll make do. And we'll finish our practice here in Shavasana. As we move into Shavasana, if you have time to stay for an extended period of time, if you have time to stay for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 15 minutes in a restorative Shavasana, when you have the time to do that, can be a beautiful thing. That gives us time to shift into a different kind of brainwave, even different from what we experience sleeping, so that when you do have that time, give that as a little gift to yourself. We're going to finish our time in this video together here in Shavasana. So we'll settle into the shape. Letting your arms rest where they feel comfortable and supported. Today, I'm just really being drawn to bringing my arms in, hugging my arms in and letting my hands rest on my abdomen. So I'm going to give myself that today. If you do have an extra blanket or towel and would like to drape that over your eyes, or even tucking it around the head to draw yourself just a little deeper in to the relaxation, you're welcome to do that. Again, you're staying here as long as you have time in your day today. We'll finish our time together here in our supported Shavasana. thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.